These are my top 10 August new releases, and quite a few of these you will be seeing on the channel. In fact, one of these books is a brand new series that I did not know about, and turn that up. Oops, wrong way. A brand new series that I did not know about. So I've already ordered books 1 and 2 so that when 3 gets here, I'll be able to pick up the series. This is If Then Fridays. If you like this book, you might like that book. And once a month, we do new releases and maybe something extra special. And this is the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina Carlos, Tina. This is where I read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, no fancy smancy stuff going on here. There's, and it's a sad day here. It's pouring torrential rain out on the day of this taping. And we've had a passing, so we're a little on the sad side. But I went through the 600 new releases that were coming out for August 2026. And these are the top 10 that I chose to talk about. And most of these you will be seeing on the channel. I didn't do the Patterson. I didn't do the Slaughter. I didn't do the Diva book. These are books that I will be, quite a few of these I will be owning when they come out. Are you coming over here? Come here. Come here. Come here. Somebody wants to say hello. Hello. My name is Sandy. Because my face is Sandy. And goodbye. Boy, did she take off. Anyways. Now, I'm a huge fan of time travel. There she is. There's my fave. Miss McCoon. These are my faves. And her other one. And Miss Moaning. We did Miss Moaning. She's right behind her. And the others, if you want to know all my other time travel peeps, D. Louise book series, If Then Time Travel. It's out there somewheres in the lurkings. So, Time Travel for Beginners, Book 1. Three strangers' lives are forever changed when they all join to a mysterious agency claiming to have unlocked the secret to time travel. Now, when did you want to go back? One of these books, I forget if Alan, one of the ladies that I've been reading recently the other day, she had this house. It was the Time Clock Mysteries. And there was this big, huge house, and the living room was huge. And if you went through the door in the back of the house, which was the original section, you went back to 1810. And if you went through the door in the front of the house, it would be the regular living room. And I said to a friend the other day, wouldn't you love that? You go back and interview ancestors and ask who their parents were and relatives were and when this one is buried and why you didn't do this and why you did that and where you came from. Get all this information. I have one ancestor that he gave his wife a Bible for their anniversary, and they wrote his and her info and all of the children's info. Neither one wrote their parents' info. And that's where the brick wall is, with the parents. And there have been professionals researching one of those lines, too, because it was a big line in the town. And no one has gotten past that line. If they had written in the damn Bible. See, it would be helpful. And they lived quite a few. The one lady lived almost 100 years. It would be cool to go back and talk to her. But anyways, where was he? Oh, yes, Time Travel for Beginners. An agency claiming to have unlocked the secrets to time. Would you go? Would you go? As long as I could come back in the same day. And I want to meet other people that have done it so that I know it's true. On a quiet road nestled within the bustle of Sydney lies a nondescript storefront simply known as the Time Travel Agency. At once confounded mystery and beacon of hope, the agency seems to attract those who need it most. Single mother Anna in a desperate need of change, and the agency gives her the chance to begin her career and life anew. Teddy is a genius of salvaging businesses but needs saving himself, and he's drawn to the agency hoping to travel back in time to untangle his troubled childhood and his recently imploded marriage. Jade has no interest in the agency at all because there's no way people are literally time traveling, right? Jade is present, challenging though, with her spirited, increasingly bad-tempered daughter and deeply buried secret too painful for words. As Anna, Teddy, and Jade's path converge, the question of just how legitimate the agency's ventures into the past are becomes a mysterious, provocative, and tantalizing, even heart-wrenching situation. Why is my light blinking? That is disturbing as all hell. My light keeps going. My computer light keeps going like this. In and out, in and out. It's disturbing as all hell. Alright. Book 2. The Tailor. Book 8 in the DS Cross Mysteries. We shall have to look into this. The Tailor, the brand new George Cross mystery by Tim Sullivan. The Killing. A bespoke tailor boards the 9:26 train from Bristol to London. Before it even reaches Bath, his body is found slumped lifeless in the toilet. The police initially assume it's a robbery, but the truth is more complicated than that. Why was this man found with a plastic bag over his head? Why was his throat cut in such a savage way? D.S. Cross realizes that this was no mugging. It was an organized hit. This realization forces Cross into a merciless, unfamiliar world, and its imagination is being followed. I found my number one reason for not reading this book. This has to be a Europe book. Has to be a person from Europe. All the Z's or S's, and it would drive me bonkers. Because you know how Europe, and we spell it's Favor, is favor. Europe spells it Favour. And all the all the lies, we spell Lize, they spell Lise. It would just drive me bonkers. And this one. We know these peeps by heart. We will be doing this book. We will be buying this book. I have the last other ones over there. Miss Emma and Miss Derek. And we've been through all their relationship angst. We survived their relationship angst. Oh, good God. You know, he bought her childhood home and he thought it would make her happy, and she got pissed off at him because he bought her childhood home because she wanted to buy it. But now he bought the newspaper. She's doing the hard-edged murder reporting that she wanted to do instead of the social stuff. And they have a couple of kids, and they're doing okay now. So, murder at Rosecliff. August 1903. Emma and her husband Derek are among the men in white tie and tails, and the women wearing white gowns from the House of Worth as Tessie orates blank or Whitehall at Rosecliff. Her grand cottage on Bellevue Avenue. There to cover the event of the season is young Ethan Merriman, society reporter for The Messenger, the newspaper owned by Emma and Derek. It's an utterly charming affair until a stranger intrudes flaunting a green striped necktie and matching vest in defiance of their hostess's theme. But his fashion crime is a mere misdemeanor compared to his intentions to blackmail Miss Ulrich by producing a compromising document supposedly signed by Tess over a decade ago. Insisting it's a forgery, but terrified of a scandal, she agrees to the terms, but the blackmailer will not live to see his payday. His body is found face down in a fountain before the party's end. Beside him stands a very wet Ethan, who has been seen being confronted by the man early in the evening. Coming to the aid of the luckless cub reporter, Emma and Derek must sort through the lies and blackened reputation to discover the identity of the killer, and we will be reading this book. So you shall look for it in, October, November. I read so much. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Book 4. Murder on Charity Lane. This is a new one to me. But this is book 2 in the series. After the recent hubbub, as Mrs. B describes the murders on the property, quiet descends upon the Marigold cottages. Sophie is moving in with Nicholas, Anthony is smit with Lillian, and life is returning normal. But Mrs. B misses the hubbub. That's why she invites her friend Eliza Moore to move into Sophie's now vacant cottage. Eliza is a suspect in the death of her employer, who tumbled down the stairs of his mansion during a dinner party. His much younger widow claims she saw Eliza push Frank, but Mrs. B knows she's innocent. Mrs. B rallies the residents to investigate the partygoers as an eccentric couple who owe Frank a fundraiser who depends on his largesse, and his old friend obsessed with life extension. But the tenants all come to the same conclusion: Eliza is guilty. So she's got to be saved, huh? We got to find the real killer. The real one. Lisa Gardner. You'll be sorry. I couldn't help it. For Raquel and Theo Collins, it appeared to be love at first sight. Raquel, a renowned interior designer, and Theo, a brash financial wizard, met and married in a matter of months, only to confront a terrible tragedy. Now, unbearably aware of the distance between them, they've come to a remote town in New Hampshire to begin anew. Perched on a ledge with stunning views, the Dixon family lodge was once a crown jewel of the mountains, until late one August night, when both parents and their 4 children vanished, leaving a trail of bloody footprints and a mysterious mystery that has endeavored for 30 years. Now its latest occupants, the Collinses, are arriving, and the former Grand Lodge is once more stirring to life. For Amanda Grady, following in her father's footsteps as the recently appointed sheriff of police, it is good to see a fresh start for the derelict Dixon place. However, not everyone is happy about a new family in the old home, and its past may come to bite them in the butt. What's up with you? She's back again. Yeah, I gotta remember not to print these out with font too. I gotta make this font so much bigger. We will be doing this one. I have ordered the first 2, I said before. Remember I said I ordered the first 2. So we're gonna get to this. Is book 3. And my Miss Rizzoli and Isles has started a new series, and I prefer Rizzoli and Isles to her other ones. But if you haven't seen that TV series, go watch it. It only didn't last too long. Yes, ma'am, you are being so cute. You are being so cute today. The Shadow Friends. When a renowned disease expert Russian dictator dies mysteriously during a global affair conference in Purity, Maine, the tight-knit band of former spies in the Martini Club once again sees their quiet coast to retirement interrupted by an international intrigue. And when a waitress at the conference hotel is found murdered, Ingrid Slocum sees chilling links to a disastrous mission that nearly killed her 3 decades ago. Desperate to uncover the truth, Ingrid's drawn back into the game by an energetic CIA colleague and former lover who was with her on the long-ago Doom mission. He convinces her to join him, and together they head to Amsterdam to track down the would-be killer. Interesting. You are being so cute today. You are being so cute today. She left. Sorry. Anyways. The Magic We Made, a witchy romance where a skeptic and psychic must solve a mystery. Book 2. A trained therapist, Francesca Giovanni, knows the scientific explanation for everything. Unfortunately, she lives in West Harbor, Connecticut, a town that's recently exploded in popularity thanks to which tourism in Connecticut? In Connecticut. In Connecticut? Ah, Cutter. Yes, ma'am. You know, your sister's usually the co-host. And we're going to be getting some new babies soon. We need some new babies. She needs someone to play with big time. Huge time. A trained therapist, Francesca Giovanni, knows their scientific explanation for everything. Unfortunately, she lives in West Harbor, Connecticut, a town that recently exploded in popularity thanks to witch tourism. Suddenly, witches are everywhere, offering locals their psychic services. Frankie's fine with this until aspiring teenage witches begin to disappear and strange things start happening in the lake house next door. What is going on with my lighting? I do not know. Frankie suspects not all newcomers to West Harbor have the good of the community in mind, especially not her new neighbors, Ash Merritt. Ash Merritt finds lost things in people for a living. All he wants to do is help his clients maybe get to know stunningly beautiful and newly single Dr. Frankie Giovanni a little better. But thanks to some troublesome young witches, not to mention his own faulty psychic superpower, everything goes wrong. If only Frankie wasn't so distractingly attractive and so unwillingly to admit there might be something between them. And maybe a logical reason for stuff. We shall see. One of the teenage book queens, or actually couple, mother-daughter team. We've talked about them. There was big articles in Romantic Times Book Review. If you haven't watched Flashback Monday, go watch Flashback Monday. Sorry. I gotta count. Some of those are over 2 hours long because I was ride or die on doing some from each section. If you haven't seen Romantic Times Book Review, Flashback Monday, go watch Dealer's book series, Flashback Monday. I did some Regencies, I did some inspirationals, I did some mysteries, I did some sci-fi, I did some paranormals, we did some fantasies, we did some harlequins, we hit it all. And that's why sometimes some of the issues they did over 300 books a month. So that's why some of those episodes took over 2 hours. BC Cast! Step into the mystical world of the Isle of Skye in 200 BC, where legends come to life. Goddesses and gods walk the mortal earth, and the Queen of Shadows holds court. Bashak is no ordinary queen. Daughter of the underworld goddess Biofin, gold-haired Satch is not just a brilliant trainer of warriors. Her divine mother has gifted her with the ability to pass between the living world and the underworld, and has granted her dominion over shadows. Satch dedicates her life to training the most talented warriors across the ancient world at Donna's castle, her impenetrable fortress on the magical Isle of Skye. While Cullen, the hero of Ulster, the son of the Irish god Lugh, arrives asking to become one of her students, Satch reluctantly agrees to train him, even though she has serious misgivings about his violent past and his mindless berserker who sleeps within him and whose range, once wakened, has always been uncomfortable, until the hero of Ulster meets the Queen of Shadows. Schutz realizes Scum is much more than a brutal, emotional warrior everyone expects him to be, and the hero of Ulster begins to believe he might take control of his and even change his foretold fate. Okay. How to find a romance in a bookshop. If you have not seen my ARC extravaganza #1, go check it out. This lady, now if you've seen the other side of the world, if you've seen the videos over there, this is the paranormal side, but if you've seen the videos over there, you know I own about 500 to 1,000 Regency romances. And when you're reading a Regency romance, the girl wants to marry a duke or a viscount or an earl or a baron. She wants to move up in the world. She wants to have a big house. She wants to have an estate. And one of my ARCs, she wanted to marry a librarian. I could not get past. So here we have how to find romance in a bookshop. Do you know how many? Have you seen these things on Facebook? If a guy takes you to a bookshop on a date, would you rather go to a bookshop on a date or a movie? If he's treating, and how much do you get? Because you see what's here. I could do 100, 200 bucks in a bookstore in Barnes. That's easy. But I know some thrift stores. I can get 50 to 100 books for like 50 bucks, even less than it. My little volunteering shop. Sometimes, most of the time, the books, the little mass markets are $3 for $1. And there are sometimes when they're $6 for $1. And when we have a tremendous amount of donations, they're $10 for $1. And you can't get that anywhere else. But if a guy was going to take you to a bookshop, woohoo! Brand new hardcovers. Here I come. And if you haven't seen my thing about the mass markets going out of business, and mass market is a paperback. It's not a market. I'm not even going to go there. Someone asked me that one day. So where was I? Oh, yes! Romance in a bookshop. Petra doesn't like books anymore, not since her career as a literary agent imploded after a social media typo went viral. And, if you haven't seen it, and my lighting is going really bonkers. And I wish I'd kept it. And I will forever regret never keeping it. What was it? Who was it? Vicky Delaney? The first part of the book was Vicky Delaney, and the back part of the book was Vicky Delaney, but the middle section was another book. I should have kept it. It would be worth a couple pennies. So Rose McLeod's award-winning debut novel blew the minds of the world's literati, but that was 5 years ago. Now Ross and his keenly awaited second work have vanished. Something has gone wrong, horribly wrong, and Ross doesn't want to talk about it. Marooned in Capelthorne Bookshop, miles from London, Petra can't stop thinking about the way she has let people down. Then she discovers Ross lurking incognito in the second-hand book section. Misery loves company, it seems, and kinship tentatively forms. In the meantime, the magic of the bookshop slowly begins to enchant Petra. Soon her book recommendations assume legendary status. That's what I want to do! I want to be able to recommend a book and have it go to skyrocket #1 on the bestseller list. Fantasy. Total fantasy. So she starts reading again. Petra is also finding time to help her new best friend Jess, owner of a local telephone box library, to launch the integral Porneath Literary Festival, where opportunity to put the festival on the map, says Ross, and then Petra to unveil his second novel to the world there. Relaunching her career representing him at the Frankfurt Book Fair. What a comeback. Damn. Let's try that. And hey, Meg! Hey, Meg! We need some help, Meg! Hey, Meg! We need some help! Oh, and if Meg's mother was real, if she was real, I want her to come decorate my house at Christmas. Her mother does such a good job at decorating Christmas. Oh! So Meg has she started the series single, they got married, they had twin boys, and she now works for the mayor's office and stuff, and she solves little mysteries, and everybody works with her, and everybody accepts her sleuthing, and her grandfather and her grandmother. She's met all these people and added to these family. It's just a really good series. I love it. So, Donna Andrews, Probable Caws. Meg has finally found time to get some blacksmithing done when a call from her dad interrupts him. Can she come out to Ragnar's right away to help with the horses? Their friend Ragnar Ragesson, who gradually turning the enormous house on the nearby estate into an authentic motor castle, has agreed to shelter 50 horses for Hoof and Hearth, an equine rescue organization that has lost access to the farm where the horses have been living. The owner to the farm recently died without leaving a will, and while his oldest son Abel would be happy to let the horses stay, Younger brother George wants to sell to a developer and suspected of sending a thug to harm the horses as part of his efforts to evict Hoof and Hearth. That night, while Meg and her family are camping at one of Ragnar's farms to keep an eye on the horses, they discover that the thug has been murdered. Unfortunately, George is alibi, but his horse-loving brother Abel is not. Neither are the hot-tempered founder of Hoof and Earth or the passionately protective ex-jockey who serves as its stable master. Meg juggles help keeping the horses safe and doing what she can to help the chief solve the thug's murder, all the while hoping that the killer won't turn out to be one of the dedicated horse crackers she has come to like and respect. And if you haven't watched Miss Sky's Iris, I've gotten addicted to that series on Facebook. She's got this big farm. She does cows and horses and goats and mini cows and mini goats. They're so cute. What I don't understand is the dogs are allowed in the house, but the cats aren't. I want the cats in the house so bad, but they're barn cats. Her husband won't let he'll let the dogs in the house, but he won't let the cats in the house. I want those cats in the house. But anyway, there you go. There's your top 10. And hey, don't forget to check out Star Trek Voyager recaps, or go back and watch Next Generation recaps. Don't forget JD Rob Saturdays. Don't forget Unboxing Sundays, Flashback Mondays, and Modella Book Reviews. And it's just a rainy, icky day. Have a good one.